In a world of power, where realms collide. Manhwa Story Vault. New Manhwa stories every week.
Chapter 1, Initial Species, Sapling. Are you really the main god? In the dim, gray space, Lin Yu looked at the statue before him, feeling somewhat hesitant. The surroundings were very dark, with only the area where he stood remaining lit. Lin Yu couldn't understand why he appeared here. A moment ago, he was still diligently working overtime in front of his computer, trying to finish his unfinished tasks. But in the next second, the entire world suddenly shattered into countless fragments. Afterwards, he appeared here, in front of this statue claiming to be the main god. Unfortunately, in response to his question, the main god didn't pay him any heed, responding instead with an incredibly indifferent and seemingly mechanical voice. The 10,000 realms collapse, to return as one. Congratulations, you have been granted a qualification to go to the primordial continent. To adapt quickly to the new world, everyone will randomly receive an initial territory, allowing them to recruit species, plunder resources, and build their forces. In this vast world, not only will you face competition between myriad races, but also threats from indigenous people. Weaklings will only find death awaiting them. So, continuously enhance your strength and make yourself stronger. Randomly distributing territory. Territory distribution completed. Please prepare yourself. Whoosh. A bright light appeared before Lin Yu's eyes, and he now stood at the foot of a mountain edge bordering a forest. Surrounded by towering trees, he couldn't see faraway scenery, while his ears were filled with the sounds of insects chirping, birds calling, and fearsome beast roars. The roar of a beast shook Lin Yu back to his senses, and his eyes widened. What's going on? The 10,000 realms collapse, returning as one. Does that mean his previous world is gone? Could this be some kind of joke? But even if it is a joke, everything in front of him is too real. Plop. Lin Yu slapped his face hard, and it hurt, a fiery, stinging pain. So it really is true. Just as he was thinking this, a voice suddenly echoed in his mind. Respected Lord, from this moment, you have 7 days of protection time. During the protection time, your territory will not suffer any harm. After 7 days, the protection disappears. Please properly protect the territory core. The territory core is a derivative of each lord's soul. Once destroyed, the lord will perish along with it. As the voice faded, the ground beneath Lin Yu suddenly rumbled, and a radiant, towering tree surged from the earth, growing over 10 meters high. At the same time, surrounding fences rose, enclosing the bewildered Lin Yu and the tree within. All right, it seems he's not dreaming, he truly transmigrated. Lin Yu stood dumbfounded for a long time, gradually recovering from his shock and confusion. Once he acknowledged the facts, his first response wasn't panic or distress, but an unexpected calmness. Having roamed the society for many years, what hasn't he seen? This he really hasn't seen. Cautiously, Lin Yu made his way to the only structure-worthy thing in his territory, underneath the great tree, and carefully examined it. Suddenly, an interface appeared in front of him, entering his view. Territory name, Tree of Life. Territory level, Tier 1. Territory durability, 100 and 100ths. Recruit species, plant type. Recruitment number, 0/10. Territory introduction, the Lord's fundamental survival. Possessing various functions, the core destruction leads to the Lord's demise. Upgrade requirements, wood 100 and 100ths, stone 0/100ths, magic energy 10 out of 10. Note, plant type territory traits, self-sufficient in wood. Is this the territory? Lin Yu glanced around at the surroundings, only seeing fences made of stone pillars and wood, and the giant tree before him. This initial territory is a bit too rudimentary. If his guess was correct, this tree should be the territory core mentioned by that voice earlier. In other words, if this tree were ever destroyed, he too would die. This truly is cruel. Not only does he have just 7 days of safe time, if he doesn't want to die, he must quickly enhance his strength, and then gather materials to upgrade the territory and reinforce the fences. With this in mind, Lin Yu quickly browsed other information and was soon drawn to an area channel in the corner. Upon opening it, he saw it was filled with chat messages from other people. Damn, I transmigrated. What's going on? Can anyone explain? I'm really freaked out right now. I just saw a tens of meters long python pass by me. It seems like our original world is gone. We've all transmigrated to this world. Can we ever go back? Wife, where are you? I'm Taiju. Can you see my messages? ... Lin Yu hadn't expected that everyone had truly transmigrated to this world and had been randomly scattered to various corners. The entire chat channel was chaotic, most were in states of panic and anxiety, some even losing rationality, frantically sending messages, with notifications popping up almost every second. This was just one area. Who knows how many similar areas exist out there. However, it was thanks to this channel that Lin Yu found many useful messages, and a few people who calmed down first had already started discussing territorial matters. I randomly got an animal-type territory. I can only recruit wolf cubs. Same here, an undead graveyard with skeleton minions as initial species, the kind that shatter with a tap. What the heck is a mechanical factory? Only gave me a contraption bird. How's anyone supposed to survive with that? You guys are better off. I just saw someone with a plant type saying they randomly got a seedling. A seedling? That's too miserable. I'm lucky I didn't get a plant type. Haha, not all plant type starters are seedlings. I noticed only a few unlucky ones end up with that. Lin Yu. He was fine before checking, but now Lin Yu's face instantly darkened upon reading these messages. Isn't his current territory a plant type? Wouldn't he be so unlucky as to have initially drawn a seedling? He quickly closed the chat channel and approached the Tree of Life, doing as instructed by others and focusing his mind. Recruit. Immediately, the voice in his mind rang again. Please select the recruitment number. Each recruitment of Tier 1 species costs 1 magic energy. Recruitment level cannot exceed territory level 10. Lin Yu replied without hesitation. The initial magic energy of the territory was 10 points, just enough to recruit 10 Tier 1 species. In this dangerous world, the more allies the better. As soon as his voice fell, the Tree of Life above him trembled suddenly, and seeds wrapped in fluorescence slowly descended, burrowing into the soil beneath him. The next second, the soil loosened, and small seedlings sprang out from the ground. Name: seedling. Race: plant. Level: Tier 1, 0/10. Power: O. Attack intensity. Constitution: 8. Life force. Agility: O. Speed. Spirit: 5. Skills potency. Skills: Breath of Nature, gathers natural breath, accelerating recovery speed of injuries. Introduction: the lowest level of plant-type summoned creatures, barely useful for healing. Looking at the 10 seedlings before him, Lin Yu's face instantly darkened. Unexpectedly, he really became the unlucky one mentioned by others, randomly getting the weakest initial species. Both attack and speed are 0. How is anyone supposed to play like this? Even without getting a powerful species, at the very least something like a flower demon tree spirit or a cactus would suffice. At least they could throw thorns at people and be much more effective than these seedlings. Depending on these seedlings without any offensive capability, let alone resisting an invasion, they wouldn't even survive the 7-day safety period. He can't just charge out alone and hunt, can he? Lin Yu had never been this speechless. It seemed even the main god couldn't continue watching, as another voice sounded in his mind. Each lord receives a chance to draw a lottery upon arrival. Would you like to use it immediately? Lottery. Lin Yu's spirits lifted, not expecting a turn of events so soon. Seeing the exquisite treasure chest appearing before him, he swallowed his saliva and reached his hand in immediately. Accompanied by a dazzling golden light, the voice echoed once more. Chapter 2. Transform for me. Brothers, what did you get in the lottery? Don't mention it. I got 15 units of stone. I got 20 units of wood. There's nothing good in these treasure chests. Got my hopes up for nothing. I see many people are getting resources. But earlier, I saw someone say they got a new species. What the heck? Seriously, a new species? Why doesn't he just drop dead? Emperor of Europe, go away. On the regional channel, everyone was talking about the lottery. The results were surprisingly consistent. Almost everyone got resource rewards, only a few got something besides resources. Lin Yu glanced at the regional channel, and then looked at the reward he just received, feeling uncontrollably excited. He quickly opened the Tree of Life's function interface to search carefully, and sure enough, he saw a mutation ability added below. This can mutate designated species into other species and randomly retains one skill. This means that no matter how many times it mutates, the mutated species will always have one more skill than others. This is definitely a very powerful ability. For Lin Yu at this moment, it's practically a lifeline. Unfortunately, mutation consumes magic energy, and his magic energy had already been used up, temporarily unable to use this ability. It's really awkward. For now, the only thing he can do is quickly find a way to get magic energy, and then try out the mutation ability's effect. Otherwise, relying only on these saplings, it's impossible to survive until the end of the safety period. Lin Yu looked at the saplings on the ground, sinking into contemplation. Bang! At this moment, a muffled crash suddenly sounded. Lin Yu followed the sound to see, outside the territory, a black wolf with bone blades on its back was frantically crashing against the fence. Every crash would be repelled by an invisible force from the fence, flying several meters away onto the ground, then get up again, charging at the fence. Obviously, it had spotted Lin Yu, the prey, through the fence. Lin Yu was sure, if it weren't for the safety period, the black wolf would have likely already broken through the fence and rushed into the territory. That's it. Killing demons should grant magic energy, right? Suddenly, Lin Yu thought of something and became joyful. After watching the black wolf outside the territory for a while, confirming it really couldn't get in, he looked around, and quickly found a wooden stick as thick as an arm, with a very sharp tip, calmed his mind, and slowly approached the edge of the fence. Roar! Seeing Lin Yu approach, the black wolf became even more frantic, mouth wide open, roaring as it pounced at him. Lin Yu seized the opportunity, the wooden stick in his hand suddenly thrust out, piercing toward the black wolf's abdomen. At the moment the stick thrust out, Lin Yu was surprised. He realized his power seemed to have increased. Only heard the black wolf let out a miserable howl, its abdomen directly pierced through, crashing hard against the fence. The immense impact made Lin Yu stagger back, the wooden stick in his hand slipped away, arm numb. When he looked outside the fence again, he found the black wolf had staggered to its feet, seriously injured, seemingly trying to escape. Lin Yu wouldn't give it the chance. As it turned around, he immediately got up, picked up the wooden stick, and jabbed at its weakest spot, the rear. Ow! The black wolf shrieked, its body instantly went rigid, the stick in Lin Yu's hand snapped in response. This blow clearly caused severe damage to the black wolf, blood continuously flowed out from the wound. Gradually, its breathing became weaker and its movements slower. Finally, with a thud, it fell to the ground. Congratulations, you've killed a Tier 1 black wolf, gaining 1 point of magic energy. Lin Yu's chest heaved, listening to the voice in his mind, feeling extremely excited. He had actually succeeded in killing a Tier 1 demon. Moreover, he was right, killing demons can indeed get magic energy. No more hesitation, he quickly went outside the territory, dragged the black wolf's body back inside. Now, his food has finally been secured, while also solving one of the major problems of the moment. Next, he eagerly approached the 10 little saplings. There shouldn't be any more accidents, right? With trepidation, Lin Yu used the mutation ability on one of the saplings, and the voice in his mind rang out again. Mutating a Tier 1 summoned unit requires consuming 1 point of magic energy. Do you wish to continue? Continue. Lin Yu's gaze sharpened. As his voice fell, he felt a magical force quickly gathering, enveloping the little sapling completely. Puff! Suddenly, a thorny vine broke through the soil, and like triggering a chain reaction, vine after vine emerged. And the main body of the sapling also quickly grew, transforming into a root plant entwined with vines, topped by a bud that looked like a closed head. The vines breaking through the soil seemed like its tentacles, swaying around its body, expressing the joy of transformation. Name: Thorny Vine Grass. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 1, 0/10. Power: 6 Attack Strength. Constitution: 10 Life Force. Agility: 0 Speed. Spirit: 5 Skill Power. Skills: Breath of Nature, Vine Whip. Introduction: the lowest level plant summoned creature, the thorns on its vines have impressive attack power. Success. Lin Yu looked at the dramatically altered attributes with surprise, not expecting the mutated ability to be so powerful, directly transforming the little sapling into thorny vine grass. Not only did it gain attack abilities, but it also inherited the little sapling's healing skills. With the plant type's naturally superior life force, its survival ability can definitely be considered the best at Tier 1. There are not many species that can compare to it. The only regret is the agility attribute, which is still 0. This is probably the shortcoming of all plant types, being too reliant on the land. Oh well, let's first test the attack strength. Without thinking much, Lin Yu turned to look at a few black wolves outside the territory. They were attracted by the earlier commotion and the scent of blood, just perfect for testing the attack strength of the thorny vine grass. Go, take them down. Lin Yu directly issued the attack command to the thorny vine grass. The next second, with several whooshing sounds, those thorn-covered vines swept past Lin Yu, straight towards the black wolves outside the territory, extending 5 meters at once. The black wolves made a commotion, immediately opening their mouths to try and bite the vines, but the vines slipped to one side, wrapping around their bodies, making them fall to the ground struggling desperately. At this moment, the healing skill inherited from the little sapling came into play, continuously repairing the tears on the vines caused by the struggle. No matter how the black wolves struggled, they couldn't break free, but instead got entangled deeper. Finally, amid miserable howls, the throats of the black wolves were slit by the thorns on the vines, completely losing their vitality. Killed Tier 1 Black Wolf, gained 1 point of magic energy. Killed Tier 1 Black Wolf, gained 1 point of magic energy. Killed Tier 1 Black Wolf, gained 1 point of magic energy. So powerful. Lin Yu widened his eyes in shock. In just a short while, it killed 3 black wolves, earning him 3 points of magic energy. The surviving black wolves, seeing the tragic state of their companions, were also frightened and fled in panic, disappearing into the forest in the blink of an eye. If not for the 3 black wolf corpses lying on the ground, Lin Yu would hardly believe it. After all, he had personally experienced the power of the black wolves just now. If it weren't for the fence and the protection period, he probably wouldn't have been able to kill them so easily. But the thorny vine grass managed to do it so effortlessly. This made him even doubt if his own combat power wouldn't even reach 5 points. As he thought, he quickly moved, hurriedly dragging the black wolf corpses outside the fence into the territory. Then once again, he checked the thorny vine grass's attributes. Name: thorny vine grass. Race: plant. Level: Tier 1 3/10. Power: 7 attack strength. Constitution: 1/1 life force. Agility: 0 speed. Spirit: 6 skill power. Skills: breath of nature, vine whip. Introduction: the lowest level plant summoned creature, the thorns on its vines have impressive attack power. Lin Yu uttered a light noise of surprise, noticing something different. The attributes of the thorny vine grass actually increased. The number behind the level changed from 0 to 3 points. Could it be the summoned units can gain experience by killing demons, and then level up? Instantly reaching this conclusion, Lin Yu was overjoyed. If this were true, he could completely advance all these summoned units to Tier 2, and then their survival ability would surely become much stronger. Thinking of this, he immediately approached the remaining little saplings, using the magic energy he just earned to apply the mutated ability on 3 of them. Transform for me. Chapter 4. No honor in battle. Lin Yu did not expect that his territory would attract demons above Tier 3. On a rock outside the territory stood a lion with a robust figure and a body covered in red fur. Name: Flaming Lion. Race: Wild Beast. Level: Tier 3. Power: 32. Constitution: 27. Agility: 30. Spirit: 29. Skills: Flaming Surround. Introduction: a ferocious beast among low-tier creatures, capable of simple flame manipulation. Its nearly 30 points in combined attributes far exceeded those of the Tier 2 thorny vine flower. How could such a powerful monster appear here? Lin Yu was at a loss. But when he saw the flaming lion leap down from the rock towards the bodies of several black wolves, a revelation flashed through his mind. It turned out that this creature was attracted by the scent of blood. Just as expected, the flaming lion stared intently at Lin Yu for quite a while before slowly moving to the black wolf corpses and began to gorge itself, completely ignoring Lin Yu. This sparked an idea in Lin Yu's mind. Although the fire element restrains plants, he was still in a safe period. As long as he didn't leave the territory, he wouldn't face any danger. Why not take this opportunity to try killing this flaming lion? If successful, the reward would undoubtedly be enormous. The more he thought about it, the more feasible the plan seemed. Taking advantage of the flaming lion's inattention, Lin Yu immediately ordered the thorny vine flower and thorny vine grass beside him to attack. The next second, the sound of something slicing through the air could be heard. Spiked vines shot forward several meters, straight towards the flaming lion outside the territory, faster than before. But at that moment, the flaming lion, still devouring the corpses, suddenly lifted its head and breathed a stream of fire at the vines. The menacing vines were instantly burnt to cinders. Indeed, the fire elements still held some restraint over plants. Fortunately, the physical attribute of the Tier 2 thorny vine flower was not much weaker than the flaming lion, and it possessed healing skills, barely withstanding the flaming lion's flames. With a swift move, it coiled around the lion's legs. Roar! The flaming lion roared furiously, flames erupting from its body, trying to burn the vines. Fortunately, the vines retracted in time to avoid the flames. Soon, the lion's flames dissipated, losing its ability to suppress the plants. Seizing this chance, 2 tree spirit guards charged forward, stabbing the flaming lion with wooden thorns. The thorny vine flower and Tier 1 thorny vine grass surged with a dense mass of vines, employing a strategy of sheer numbers to bind the flaming lion, entangling its body. The flaming lion struggled desperately, constantly shaking off the vines and crashing against the fence. However, the vines were too numerous, tightening with every rap, and with the flower spirit continually assisting with healing, its actions were temporarily restrained. Finally, the Tier 2 thorny vine flower seized its opportunity, its spiked vine slashing open the lion's vulnerable throat. Puff! In an instant, blood flowed profusely. The flaming lion went into a frenzy, swatting away the 2 tree spirit guards with a paw and tearing off the vines entangling it. Only the Tier 2 thorny vine flower, with its strong vitality and healing, could barely hold on, though it was in a precarious position. Cracks continuously appeared on the vines, but with the flower spirit's healing and self-repair, they were repeatedly reassembled, feeling as though they could snap at any moment. Thankfully, due to excessive bleeding from the severed artery, the flaming lion's power dwindled, its struggles weakening, and it could no longer use its flame ability. This allowed the thorny vine flower a moment of respite, with a vine whip wrapping around the lion's neck, deeply embedding into its wound. The flaming lion tried to struggle but was utterly powerless. It could only allow the vines to bind ever tighter, sink deeper, its body convulsing. Eventually, it let out a wail and collapsed heavily onto the ground. Congratulations! You have successfully slain a Tier 3 flaming lion, earning 15 points of magic energy. Hearing the sound echo in his mind, Lin Yu was stunned. He had not expected to actually succeed in slaying a Tier 3 demon. Though the methods used were not particularly honorable, he had truly accomplished it. As the main force in the attack, the thorny vine flower also gained 10 experience points, equivalent to slaying 10 Tier 2 demons. Lin Yu then realized that only the species obtaining the kill would gain experience. Other species, except for healing species that gained extra experience when healing, showed no change in experience. Even so, he was extremely thrilled. "Quick, drag its corpse inside." He hurriedly issued the command, asking the Tier 2 thorny vine flower to drag the corpse. Because at this moment, only it and the flower spirit was still relatively intact. As for those few Tier 1 thorny vine grass and tree spirit guards, they were much worse off. The vines were almost all torn off, and they were severely injured, all appearing dispirited. This battle could be described as extremely brutal. Fortunately, there were his healing skills and the flower spirit, preventing any loss of personnel. Otherwise, Lin Yu would have been heartbroken. After processing the corpse of the flaming lion, Lin Yu took the opportunity to check the information of the thorny vine flower. Name: Thorny vine flower. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 2, 10/25. Power: 22. Constitution: 23. Agility: 10. Spirit: 18. Skills: Breath of Nature, Vine Whip. Introduction: the lowest tier plant summoned creature, initially possessing the ability to move. Just as he expected, after gaining experience, the attributes of the thorny vine flower increased again, becoming stronger than before. Now all that's left is the stone. Lin Yu muttered to himself, called up the territory information, and glanced at it. The 10 points of magic energy required for the upgrade had been obtained by killing the flaming lion. Now all he needed was 100 units of stone, and his territory could be upgraded to Tier 2, at which time he would also be elevated to Tier 2, significantly enhancing his strength. Stone: is it hard to find? He happened to be near a mountain, surrounded by stone, so he asked the tree spirit guards and thorny vine flower to bring some back. Soon, he moved with the species capable of movement and began to act. Within just half a day, the required 100 stone for the upgrade was gathered, and he returned to the territory once more. The Tree of Life seemed to sense it was about to be upgraded, its branches swaying left and right, scattering fluorescence below. Upgrade the territory, the voice echoed in his mind. Upgrade. Lin Yu did not hesitate in the slightest. In the next second, the entire territory was enveloped in dazzling light. The fence quickly expanded outward, transforming from the initial wooden fence to stone pillars, becoming much more solid. Even the Tree of Life grew to a height of 20 meters, its branches and leaves covering half the territory, presenting a picturesque scenery. At the same time, Lin Yu felt a surge of formidable power rushing into his body, continuously nourishing his body, enhancing his strength, perception, and reaction to a higher level. Lin Yu was sure that if he encountered those Tier 1 black wolves now, he could absolutely crush them with a punch, without even needing a weapon. Is this Tier 2 so powerful? Lin Yu couldn't help but exclaim in admiration while his gaze landed on the territory information. Territory name: Tree of Life. Territory level: Tier 2. Territory durability: 250/250. Recruitment species: plant type. Recruitment number: 10/20. Territory introduction: the fundamental survival of the Lord, possessing various functions. Devastation of the territory core signifies the Lord's demise. Upgrade requirements: wood 250/250, stone 3/250, magic energy 5/50. Note: plant type territory traits, self-supply of wood. The upgraded Tier 2 territory not only increased durability significantly but also increased the recruitment number by 10. But what surprised Lin Yu the most was the next sound that echoed in his mind. Successfully upgraded the territory to Tier 2. Unlocked Tier 2 species: explosive mushroom. Unlocked territory skill: deportation, can deport specified summoned units and return half the magic energy. Tier 2 species, and a territory skill. Unexpectedly, upgrading to Tier 2 unlocked new things, and two at once. Initially, Lin Yu was worried that too many Tier 1 species occupied the recruitment numbers, but the emergence of the deportation skill certainly was a great help. Besides, upon looking, he realized that recruiting Tier 2 species required 5 points of magic energy, and he had just enough left to recruit one. Thinking for a moment, he decided to proceed with the recruitment. After a flash of light, a fire-red mushroom covered in spores appeared in front of him. Chapter 5, stirring up a lion's dent. Name: explosive mushroom. Race: plant. Level: Tier 2, 0/25. Power: 0. Constitution: 10. Agility, 0. Spirit, 22. Skills, explosive spores, throw spores into the air, attach them to enemies, and trigger a violent explosion. Introduction, a harmless little mushroom, you can even use it to make soup. Goodness gracious, I just can't even. Spores that explode. What kind of bizarre species is this? Lin Yu was almost at a loss for words at the randomness of his assigned species. From the initial little sapling to the current explosive mushroom, none of them was serious in any way. But this explosive mushroom is not bad. Although it lacks any offensive capabilities and can't move, the skill is pretty decent. As long as it's mutated into other species using the mutated ability, it'll still inherit this skill, and then will it be a vine whip thrown out with an explosive effect? The thought of it is just delightful. Unfortunately, he's already spent all his magic energy, so he can't mutate it for now. He glanced up at the sky, and it had unknowingly darkened, so Lin Yu gave up on the idea of heading out again. Besides, he was hungry after a day's work. He set up a simple structure, ignited a flame using the flame crystal he found inside the flaming lion, and began grilling meat while checking messages on the chat channel. Hey guys, how's everything going on your end? Pretty good, though it was a bit hard to adapt at first. Finally upgraded the territory to tier 2. Already, I'm still 4 points of magic energy short for an upgrade. Those demons are really tough to kill. Don't bring it up. I encountered a tier 2 demon while out today, almost got wiped out, barely managed to escape back to the territory. You're doing better than me. My initial species are rubbish, can't even handle tier 1 demons, no food to scavenge, no idea how I'll manage tonight. Pathetic. One message after another floated by, all recounting their miserable circumstances, some even unable to solve basic needs. By comparison, Lin Yu was doing much better. Not only had he solved his food issues, he'd also upgraded his territory to tier 2, managing to barely gain a foothold in this world. By the way, anyone assigned to angel type or demon type territories? I hear those species are really powerful. Just then, someone asked this question. And it happened to be the question Lin Yu was most concerned with: territory types. Based on the information he'd gathered over the day, he'd basically figured out the species types in this world, which roughly divided into 10 types. Humanoid, humanoid-like, wild beast, insect, plant, undead, elemental, mechanical, angel, demon. Corresponding to these are castles, tribes, beast lairs, insect nests, trees of life, grave sites, elemental lands, mechanical factories, holy halls, and blood halls, these 10 territory types. Among them, angel type and demon type are the rarest, followed by elemental type and mechanical type. As expected, as soon as angel-demon territories were mentioned, quite a few people joined the discussion. I don't know about demon type, but today I saw an angel type guy with 2 angels, instantly wiped out a tier 2 demon, totally insane. Whoa, that's amazing. Did he give you any trouble? What trouble could he cause? I had a tier 2 Gale leopard, just rode off, and he couldn't catch me if he tried. Darn it, I thought it was gonna be some revenge drama, turns out it's a humble brag. Already got tier 2 species, I'm so envious I could puke. What's to envy? It's not much experience for tier 2, easy to level up. The tricky part is after tier 3, you have to kill same level demons to gain experience. True, killing low level ones doesn't gain much experience, and magic energy is pitifully scarce. Who knows when I'll have a full species roster. In the span of a day, they'd gathered plenty of information about this world. Taking advantage of the evening rest period to share in the chat channel. Just watching and eating, Lin Yu gathered a lot of useful info, saving him from many missteps and quietly noting the strength of angel type and demon type. If someday he were to clash with them over interests, it'll probably be a fierce battle. Just like that, after finishing his grilled meat and filling his belly, Lin Yu lay down under the tree of life, using his connection with it to grow vines and weave a simple hammock under the tree, resting comfortably. This was Lin Yu's first night in this world. Maybe due to fatigue from the day, he quickly fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, Lin Yu woke up early, not because he wanted to wake up so early, but he was disturbed by the sound of impacts. When he opened his eyes to look outside, he found his territory surrounded by several flaming lions, frantically pounding the fences. What's going on? Lin Yu jumped off the hammock in shock. Upon counting carefully, there were actually 8 flaming lions outside the territory. Did he unwittingly provoke a lion's den? Or is it because of that flaming lion from yesterday? Thinking about this, Lin Yu glanced at the dried jerky beside him. Looks like the scent of the comrade's flesh drew this group of flaming lions, instantly squashing his hopes of hunting outside. Yesterday's flaming lion almost cost him dearly. Now with 8 of them, what now? He might just be trapped here. Roar! At this moment, those flaming lions noticed Lin Yu and started slamming into the fence fiercely, making it rattle loudly. The thorny vine grass and thorny vine flower inside his territory didn't sit idle either. They rushed out of the fence, straight at the flaming lions, but were quickly turned to charcoal by the flames they spewed. Seeing this, Lin Yu's brow furrowed. Flame-type demons, and the Tier 3 flame-type demons, their species are way too overpowering against his. One is manageable, can exploit safe periods and guerrilla tactics to deviously wear them down, but a group calls for something else. I've got it. Doesn't he have a new species? Suddenly, Lin Yu recalled the Tier 2 species he unlocked yesterday, the explosive mushroom. Yesterday it was too late to gather magic energy for its mutation, but overnight plenty of nighttime foraging demons were killed by his plants, yielding him another 5 points of magic energy. Wasting no time, he quickly headed to the explosive mushroom and directly used the mutated ability. Mutating a Tier 2 summoned unit requires consuming 5 points of magic energy. Do you wish to continue? A prompt sounded. Just as Lin Yu had speculated, Tier 2 species mutations require much more magic energy, directly 5-fold. Continue, Lin Yu said resolutely. In the next second, the explosive mushroom was enveloped in light, swiftly growing into a plant taller than a person. Name: Thorny Vine Flower. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 2, 0.25. Power: 19. Constitution: 22. Agility: 8. Spirit: 20. Skills: Explosive Spores, Vine Whip. Introduction: the lowest grade plant summoned creature, initially possessing mobility abilities. Unlike the previous Thorny Vine Flower, this one inherited the Explosive Spores skill, growing red spores all over its body, swinging with the vines in the air. Seeing this, Lin Yu immediately issued an attack command. Whoosh! A sound pierced through the air, the vine turned into long whips, rushing out more than 10 meters, directly targeting the flaming lion closest to the fence. Chapter 6: Blood Wolf Demon. Boom! The intense explosion sound spread across the edge of the forest, shaking the surrounding air. Lin Yu stared in disbelief at the flaming lion that was blown away, along with the crater formed outside the territory, his eyes nearly popping out. He hadn't expected the explosive spores to be so fierce. They had sent the flaming lion flying in one go. Although it wasn't dead, it had caused considerable damage, finally igniting his hope of escaping. Go, keep bombing. At Lin Yu's command, the thorny vine flower immediately resumed the attack, scattering massive spores outside the territory. Following this was a series of explosions, causing the group of flaming lions to leap up and dodge left and right. Seizing this opportunity, other plants sprang into action, launching attacks on the injured flaming lion. The red spores flying in the air also descended again on the flaming lion's wounds, absorbing its blood and taking root. Boom, boom, boom. Another cascade of explosions. The flaming lion let out a miserable cry, its organs shattered, falling into a pool of blood. It kept trying to lift itself but was soon entangled by countless vines. The tighter the vines squeezed, the weaker the flaming lion became due to excessive blood loss, unable to break free or even use its flame ability. In the end, it lost all signs of life. Killed Tier 3 flaming lion, gained 14 magic energy points. Phew, it wasn't easy indeed, employing so many methods to finally kill it. Lin Yu couldn't help but sigh. At the low tier level, the attribute differences between species aren't too significant. With proper strategy, it's possible to kill across tiers. What's more, he has the bug of the safety period. If faced head-on, he definitely wouldn't be a match for the flaming lion. Seeing their companion dead, the remaining flaming lions finally felt fear and gradually retreated. They bared their teeth and growled at him from across the fence before turning to disappear into the forest. Seeing this, Lin Yu finally breathed a sigh of relief. Honestly, if these flaming lions kept surrounding him, he would have been quite worried about being able to handle them. Thankfully, this world's demons have their own intelligence, no fear, and were subdued by his earlier move. This could be considered a blessing in disguise, as he earned 14 magic energy points effortlessly. After confirming that the flaming lions had gone far away, Lin Yu returned to the Tree of Life, spent 5 magic energy points to recruit an explosive mushroom, and then spent 5 magic energy points for mutation. Through yesterday's experiments, Lin Yu had gained a general understanding of the mutated ability. Simply put, recruiting a species requires consuming magic energy, and mutation consumes the same amount, equivalent to twice the recruitment cost. As a reward, the mutated species will gain an extra skill, becoming stronger. With this ability, he can completely create powerful plants in different forms, perhaps even compete with those rare species. Thinking of this, Lin Yu looked again at the plants before him. As the light faded, the Tier 2 explosive mushroom had completely changed, transforming into a tree spirit wielding a sharp sword. Name: Tree Spirit Warrior. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 2, 0.25. Power: 22. Constitution: 18. Agility: 18. Spirit: 18. Skills: Explosive Spores, Horizontal Slash. Introduction: Advanced form of Tree Spirit Guard, excellent in close combat. The Tier 2 Tree Spirit Warrior stood notably sturdier than the Tier 1 Tree Spirit Guard. Just standing there, its extraordinary presence can be felt. In this way, Lin Yu has a total of 3 Tier 2 species by his side, finally providing some security for outings. As long as he doesn't encounter a group like the Flaming Lions earlier, there shouldn't be any major problems. Having been in this world for such a long time, he has mostly stayed within his territory, knowing little about the surrounding environment. Just as well, he could take this opportunity to hunt outside, while also checking for any threats or other lords' presence in the vicinity. So after preparing in the territory, and crafting a simple protective bone blade from beast bone, Lin Yu set out with the 3 Tier 2 species and a flower spirit. The location of Lin Yu's territory is where mountains and forest meet. Surrounding are towering giant trees, shrouded in mist, more primitive than any place he's ever seen, with earth-shaking beast roars occasionally echoing from afar, shaking the air. Lin Yu dared not be careless. Just stepping out of the territory, he positioned thorny vine flowers and tree spirit warriors around him, while the flower spirit flew overhead, ready to assist at any time. Uncertain of what might lurk inside the forest, he was reluctant to enter, so he walked along its edge, gradually leaving the territory behind. Stop. Suddenly, passing by a grove, Lin Yu sensed movement and halted the team. The plants, connected by mind, immediately stopped in their tracks. Lin Yu moved to the forest's edge, his gaze piercing through the grove, indeed spotting 5 or 6 creatures with wolf heads and ape bodies, tearing a demon's corpse for sustenance. Name: Blood Wolf Demon. Race: Wild Beast. Level: Tier 2. Power: 13. Constitution: 13. Agility: 24. Spirit: 16. Skills: Tearing Claw. Introduction: A demon with wolf race lineage, bloodthirsty by nature, attacking all creatures except its kind. Lin Yu hadn't expected to encounter demons so soon. By just glancing at the information, he knew they were speed-type demons, with speed nearly maxed out for Tier 2, far faster than his clumsy plants. But Lin Yu did not retreat. Instead, he felt excited by the hunt. He understood that this world is full of dangers. Relying solely on species isn't enough. He must enhance his combat awareness, laying a foundation for the future. Though he couldn't confront Tier 3 demons directly, there shouldn't be any problem with Tier 2 ones, right? More so, his plant species, albeit slow-moving, have swift attacks and long range, perfect for practicing with these blood wolf demons. With that in mind, he stealthily approached with 2 thorny vine flowers, while the tree spirit warrior circled to the back, waiting to strike. Waiting until all the blood wolf demons bowed their heads to feast, Lin Yu's gaze suddenly sharpened. Now, with a loud blast from underfoot, Lin Yu shot forth like a sharp arrow. Simultaneously, vines crept along the ground, rolling swiftly toward the blood wolf demons. Roar! One blood wolf demon noticed the commotion, quickly raised its head and snarled at Lin Yu, trying to alert its companions. But, in the next second, the tree spirit warrior hidden on the other side had already reached behind it, the blade fell, and, puff, its head was instantly severed. Meanwhile, a voice resounded in Lin Yu's mind. Killed Tier 2 Blood Wolf Demon, gained 6 magic energy points. Lin Yu ignored the voice, his bone blade whirling in hand, stabbing at the nearest Blood Wolf Demon. Just as the Blood Wolf Demon attempted to counterattack, it failed to notice the vines appearing at its feet, tethering its legs. Puff! The sound of the bone blade piercing the chest echoed, and the Blood Wolf Demon, its movements restricted by the vines, was swiftly killed by Lin Yu. The remaining 3 Blood Wolf Demons, witnessing this, roared in rage and lunged at Lin Yu, seeking vengeance for their fallen comrade. Yet, they were heedless. Just moments earlier, red spores had attached to them via the air, with surrounding vines swiftly withdrawing. Boom, boom, boom. A cascade of violent explosions sent the 3 Blood Wolf Demons flying, landing on the ground. Lin Yu, quick-eyed and swift, charged alongside the tree spirit warrior, finishing them off with 1 strike each. The entire battle lasted less than a minute. Well done, Lin Yu praised, proud of himself too. Though aided by the plants, no flaws emerged. This was credited to his past training in combat techniques, unexpectedly handy now. Through the entire battle, he acquired a total of 30 magic energy points and eliminated a potential threat, bringing considerable gains. His greatest delight was, after this battle, the flower spirit's experience reached maximum. Amidst a glow, a beautiful flower crown gradually formed atop the flower spirit's head, and its attributes underwent a dramatic change. Chapter 7, Airdropped Supplies. Name: Flower Demon. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 2, 0.25. Power: 0. Constitution: 10. Agility: 24. Spirit: 22. Skills: Breath of Nature, Natural Spirit. Introduction: the lowest level of plant-summoned creatures, able to quickly heal wounds. Evolved into Tier 2, the flower spirit's name changed to Flower Demon. And its agility attribute is almost the highest among the plant type. Ordinary Tier 2 can't catch up with its speed. Moreover, after evolving, its healing skills have also become much stronger. A green light fell, and the abrasion on Lin Yu's arm quickly healed, vanishing in an instant, even more potent than those healing holy medicines. Let's go, let's continue forward. Lin Yu didn't pick up the Blood Wolf Demon's corpse, because the Black Wolf and Flaming Lion he hunted earlier are already enough for food. And strangely, he hasn't found a transaction system-like thing until now, making it impossible for him to sell the corpse for magic energy. So quickly, he led the plants forward to advance, cleaning up demons along the way while exploring the surrounding environment. ... In the blink of an eye. It's noon, just as everyone is striving to enhance their territory. In the endless celestial vault above, suddenly there appeared columns of light, descending straight onto various corners of the primordial continent. Look at the sky. What's that? In the channel area, everyone noticed the change in the sky, immediately causing a stir. So many light pillars. Could it be treasures descending, or meteorites from beyond the heavens? It's very possible, but the number is too many. Could the end of the world be coming again? Guys, there's one light pillar near me. I'll go check it out and get back to you. Could be something incredible. I'll go check it out too. This change appeared so suddenly that no one knows what it is, causing many to retreat to their territory, not daring to leave. There are also plenty of bold and careful people, feeling this might be an opportunity. After confirming the direction of the light pillars, they immediately took their species and hurried over, wanting to explore thoroughly. In the whole region, there are countless light pillars, and one of them just happens to fall a dozen kilometers away from Lin Yu's territory, above a wide clearing in the forest. It didn't take long before quite a few nearby lords appeared, continually clearing surrounding demons, heading to the location where the light pillar falls. As time goes on, more and more people appear, and the surroundings of the clearing start to become lively. Brother, you got here fast. Did you descend nearby too? Yes, not far from here. What about you? About the same. Didn't expect so many people nearby, there's a chance we could collaborate. Sure, I'm worried about going alone. By the way, what tier is your territory now? Already tier 2, also recruited 2 tier 2 species. Same here, reached tier 2 today, but only have 1 tier 2 species for now, those demons are too monstrous. The lords on the clearing started chatting. Perhaps due to not seeing living people for a long time, they are particularly excited, gathering in small groups, discussing their respective experiences excitedly. Of course, some are more aloof by nature and don't mingle with them, instead standing alone in a corner, quietly observing everyone on the field, seemingly trying to memorize them all. Upon closer inspection, there are quite a few tier 2 lords, almost occupying the majority, with a few even bringing tier 3 species, unsure if they were recruited or leveled up by killing demons. Overall, it's a mixed crowd, with all kinds of people present. At this moment, on the other side, a few kilometers away in the jungle, a tier 2 demon fell under Lin Yu's attack, finally allowing his 2 thorny vine flowers and tree spirit warriors to reach full experience value, successfully advancing to tier 3 amidst a flash of light. Name: Poison Vine Flower. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 3, 0/50. Power: 33. Constitution: 42. Agility: 25. Spirit: 30. Skills: Natural Spirit, Highly Poisonous Vine Whip. Introduction: a plant containing highly poisonous attacks carry toxicity. Name: Tree Spirit Berserker. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 3, 0/50. Power: 40. Constitution: 32. Agility: 32. Spirit: 32. Skills: Explosive Spores, Barbaric Horizontal Slash. Introduction: advanced form of Tree Spirit Warrior, excellent melee capability. The Tier 3 Poison Vine Flower adds a highly poisonous attribute. Not only did the body grow much larger, even the flower on top turned pale violet, evidently showing potent toxicity. And the Tier 3 Tree Spirit Berserker stands taller, with its weapon changing from a thin sword to a heavy sword so tall it's more than half a person's height, swinging powerfully with immense force. Most importantly, this weapon also integrates the Explosive Spores skill, attached with many red spores. When slashed down, it can even cause explosions. And both species' skills have been strengthened, much stronger than before. With such allies, Lin Yu no longer worries about encountering Tier 3 demons. Let's go, we'll check that place too, Lin Yu said, then dropped the demon corpse, heading straight toward the clearing, gradually vanishing into the dense jungle. On the clearing, after nearly an hour of waiting, everyone's nerves started to become tense. Everyone lifted their heads, looking at the rapidly descending light pillar, as if expecting something terrifying. It's here. Suddenly, someone shouted. The tense crowd trembled collectively, seeing that light pillar fall towards the ground with unstoppable force. Boom! The entire clearing shook violently. An overwhelming wave of energy swept across, involuntarily forcing everyone back, faces filled with shock. When the dust settled, a gold-trimmed, nearly half-human high treasure chest appeared before everyone's eyes. Treasure chest. Everyone's expressions changed, turning into elation. Unexpectedly, what fell was a treasure chest. Looking at its radiant appearance and its grand entrance, one can tell without thinking that it's extraordinary. They first froze briefly, then rushed towards the treasure chest without hesitation. Get lost. This treasure chest is mine. It's mine. Don't fight me for it. Who do you think you are? Scram to the side, I was the first to see it. Damn, don't push me to fight. In an instant, the clearing turned chaotic. Those calling each other brother moments ago turned against each other upon seeing the treasure chest, engaging in fierce fights. Everyone charged at the treasure chest like madmen. Because they know how perilous this world is, they must become strong enough to survive. Friendship, collaboration, screw it, survival is uncertain, who would call you brother? In just a few breaths, someone reached the treasure chest, causing the others to panic. Quick, stop him, don't let him touch the treasure chest. Before the voice fell, an overwhelming attack erupted. The young man who just approached the treasure chest, initially filled with joy, didn't even have time to react before being overwhelmed by countless attacks, instantly blood splattered. Faced with such a tragic scene, some people quickly realized, revealing terrified expressions. Some were even scared to the point of abandoning the treasure chest competition, retreating quickly. But at this moment, a purple vine suddenly appeared, swooshing rapidly toward the treasure chest. Chapter 8, Rare Species, Crack. The treasure chest was opened, revealing 3 items inside. A scroll, a token, and a pearl quietly floated in the chest, wrapped in a fluorescence. The vine swiftly rolled up all the items, but the pearl, being too round, fell to the side. Lin Yu didn't care so much, letting the vine quickly retreat into the forest. Only then did everyone react, their expressions changing simultaneously. Quick, stop him, he stole the stuff. With the treasure stolen, they couldn't spare any more thought, immediately leading their units to chase and intercept the vine. However, the vine's retraction speed was incredibly fast, almost instantly retreating, and extremely formidable. As soon as those units approached, attempting to break the vine, they were quickly sent flying, some getting a terrifying wound from the thorns on the vine, and it seemed about to escape with the items. Judgment Arrow. At this moment, a loud shout echoed. From the crowd, a figure with pure white wings rose, spreading a pair of beautiful wings in the air. Angel type. It's an angel type unit. The crowd was shocked. Initially, many thought it was a humanoid type due to the hidden wings, not expecting it to be the legendary angel type unit. The angel drew the bow and arrow tightly and shot an overwhelming arrow towards the vine with a whoosh. The speed was rapid, reaching its target in the blink of an eye. Boom! The arrow exploded, directly tearing the vine into 2 segments, causing the items it held to fall down. Seeing this, a haughty young man in the crowd smirked and ordered another angel by his side, "Yana, go retrieve those 2 items." Upon hearing this, the angel spread her wings and swiftly flew towards the crater caused by the arrow explosion. The others saw this and, although reluctant, dared not offend them. After all, they possessed the reputedly strongest angel type unit, evidently at the tier 3 level from the prior display of power, far beyond their capability to contend with. The young man, confident in his strength, remained haughty, disregarding the others. Meanwhile, the angel named Yana had already reached the explosion site, bending down to pick up the 2 treasures. However, she didn't notice the severed vine segments suddenly moving. One by one, red spores suddenly began rapidly expanding. Boom! A violent explosion, accompanied by a powerful blast wave, swiftly swept across Yana's body, blasting her harshly to the ground. Seizing the opportunity, the vine reappeared, gathering up the scroll and token, then swiftly withdrawing, disappearing into the dense forest in no time. Throughout, no one saw the appearance of the individual who acted. Damn it! The young man's face turned extremely grim, swiftly reaching the angel's side. Even the others nearby were wide-eyed in shock. A tier 3 angel-type unit had been directly blown away, suggesting that force was even stronger than an ordinary tier 3. Could the opponent be tier 4? Or perhaps some kind of high-tier plant-type demon? The crowd speculated in their minds. Oh no, the pearl was stolen. Suddenly, a voice exclaimed from behind, bringing them back to reality. Without a thought, they joined the scramble for the treasure, throwing the entire plane into chaos once more. On the other side, Lin Yu, who had seized 2 items, continued to run through the dense forest, not stopping until he reached his territory. Huff, huff, Lin Yu's chest heaved violently, but his face was filled with delight. He never expected to be so lucky, managing to grab 2 items from so many others, making his effort worth it. Recalling the 2 angels he encountered earlier, if not for his thorny vine flower's explosive spores skill, he might have been in trouble. Moreover, he hadn't expected someone in the vicinity to have randomly spawned with an angel-type territory. He realized he'd have to be more cautious in the future. With these thoughts, he looked at the scroll and token in his hands. Name: Territory Upgrade Scroll, Low Tier. Effect: allows the territory to upgrade by 1 tier without consuming materials, up to tier 3. Name: Species Token, Rare. Effect: randomly unlock a tier 3 rare species. Usage requirements: tier 3 territory, 50 magic energy. Great items. Upon reading the information on the 2 items, Lin Yu's eyes lit up. Originally intending to return and start gathering resources to upgrade his territory, this saved him a lot of upgrade resources. The species token was an unexpected delight. Unlocking a new species, and a rare one at that, was undeniably a valuable find. It was well known that the species unlocked by territory upgrades were random. Having an additional species meant another opportunity. Moreover, Lin Yu possessed mutated skills. With more species, there would be more skill options, allowing him to create even more powerful units. With this thought, Lin Yu took up the scroll and slowly unrolled it. Would you like to use the territory upgrade scroll, low tier, to upgrade the territory to tier 3? Yes. In the next second, the entire territory was enveloped in light, rapidly expanding, with stone pillars and fences being raised and thickened again, and the tree of life finally breaking through 20 meters to 30 meters in height. At the same time, a surge of power flowed into Lin Yu, continuously strengthening his body. Congratulations, territory upgrade successful, current level, tier 3. Randomly assigning species, closing square bracket, assignment successful, tier 3 species unlocked, poison vine flower, ... This time I was lucky, directly unlocking a tier 3 poison vine flower upon reaching tier 3. Now, he could recruit this species directly, without having to develop it from a low tier, better than nothing. Regardless, Lin Yu had little hope in the randomly assigned species. Given his unlucky streak, he was content with a normal one. His main anticipation was for the species token, unlocking a tier 3 rare species. Note, it's a rare species, meaning it differed from other ordinary species. This made Lin Yu somewhat nervous, wondering what kind of species he would receive. Taking a deep breath, he slowly picked up the token and gently touched it. Would you like to consume 50 magic energy to use the species token rare? Yes. As the voice fell, the token in his hand transformed into a streak of light, merging into the tree of life within his territory. In an instant, the tree of life quivered, scattering brilliant glimmers below. Congratulations, tier 3 rare species unlocked, plant spirits. Plant spirits. Upon hearing the voice in his mind, Lin Yu hurried to the base of the tree of life, spending 10 magic energy to recruit a plant spirit directly. In his current situation, 10 magic energy wasn't much, even after deducting the 50 he just spent, leaving him with over 70 remaining, so he naturally didn't feel any pangs of regret. Before long, a ball of green fluorescence formed in front of Lin Yu, fluttering back and forth in the air. And the new species attributes instantly caught Lin Yu's attention. Chapter 9, Royal Bloodline. Name, Plant Spirits. Race, Plant. Level, Tier 3, 0/50. Power, 25. Constitution, 25. Agility, 28. Spirit, 40. Skills, Nature Control. Manipulate the power of nature for long-range attacks on enemies within range. Introduction. The species closest to nature among lower creatures, able to manipulate various nature-based magic attacks. ... Magic-type species. Lin Yu shuddered, eyes filled with shock. He never expected the newly unlocked species to be such a powerful entity. Long-range spell attacks, this is definitely a species countless people dream of. Take this plant spirit before him, although the attributes are much lower than other tier 3 species, its skill is extremely strong, almost a nemesis for many melee types. Most importantly, Lin Yu also has a mutated ability, which can completely pass this skill on to other species. This is practically a mutation candidate tailor-made for him. With this skill candidate, as long as he has enough magic energy, he can even create a plant-type magic legion. Just thinking about that scene is terrifying. Glancing at the remaining 70+ points of magic energy he had, he didn't hesitate, directly spending 10 points of magic energy to use mutation on the plant spirit. As the light faded, the green ball of light of the plant spirit gradually dispersed, transforming into a flower spirit holding a magic staff and wearing a crown. Name, Flower Spirit, Royal Family. Race, Plant. Level, Tier 3, 0/50. Power, 30. Constitution, 35. Agility, 28. Spirit, 50. Skills, Nature Control, Affinity Aura, surrounded by the power of nature, enhancing all attributes of all allied plant-type species by 10%, a rare skill. Introduction: an advanced form of the flower demon, having initially awakened the royal bloodline for some reason, possessing the ability to command other plant-type species. After seeing the flower spirit's attributes, Lin Yu was stunned. Royal bloodline, what is this? Is it possible for the mutated ability to result in something like this? Just as he was puzzled, the newly mutated flower spirit also slowly ascended, gracefully dancing above the plants in the territory, invigorating them wherever it went. Lin Yu checked their attributes, and indeed, they improved by 10%. This has instantly allowed his species' attributes to surpass other species of the same level. Lin Yu was both amazed and delighted, never expecting the mutated ability to have such a hidden effect, evolving into such a powerful species. He quickly continued recruiting a second plant spirit and used mutation on it. Unfortunately, this time there was no flower spirit with royal bloodline, just an ordinary advanced form of flower demon, and even the second skill turned into the flower demon's inherent healing skill. Then Lin Yu tried another one, with the same result. It seems that getting royal bloodline is not so easy. However, Lin Yu was not disappointed. Getting a royal bloodline one was already a pleasant surprise. How could he dare to wish for so much? Besides, his current species are not weak. 2 Tier 3 poison vine flowers, 1 Tier 3 tree spirit berserker, in addition to 2 Tier 3 flower spirits with magic attack capabilities, and 1 rare flower spirit with royal bloodline. A total of 6 Tier 3 species. If this got out, it would probably cause quite a stir. As for the remaining Tier 1 and Tier 2 species, due to their low level, Lin Yu deported them back using the territory's deportation skill, exchanging them for magic energy. Then, with the returned magic energy, he recruited 2 natural spirits for guarding the territory. After handling everything, he summoned the flower spirit with the royal bloodline and said, "From now on, I'll call you Lingxi, it's easier to recognize." The flower spirit seemed to understand him, happily fluttering back and forth above his head. At the same time, in the regional chat channel, after the scramble for the treasure chest, the entire channel was abuzz with excitement. Everyone was discussing the event fervently. I didn't expect what fell from the sky to be a treasure chest. Totally miscalculated. Damn, if I had known earlier, I would have gone over too, might have grabbed something good. Go there, are you crazy? Don't you know how chaotic it was there? Looks like quite a few people died. I was there too, almost got killed by a bastard, luckily I ran fast. I heard there were even angel-type species appearing later on, and 2 Tier 3 ones at that. Whoa, angel type, didn't that mean he took all the stuff from the treasure chest? Not entirely, there were 3 things in the treasure chest, apparently 2 were taken by someone plant type, couldn't even see clearly what they looked like. Hiss, plant type, a plant type actually snatched stuff from an angel type. Believe it or not, I suspect that plant type has reached Tier 4, otherwise it couldn't be so strong. Lin Yu didn't know, he'd already become a celebrity in the entire region. Almost everyone was discussing the mysterious plant lord's identity who appeared on the plains earlier, speculating about his strength. Some even believed he wasn't human, but a demon with strength above Tier 4. Otherwise, how could a plant type compete with the overwhelmingly powerful angel type? And Tier 3 angel type at that. Bear in mind, not many have reached Tier 3 yet. How could his plant type reach Tier 3 so quickly? This baffling factor puzzled many people. While everyone discussed this, on a certain hillside about 10 kilometers from the plains, a young man, leading 2 angels, stood inside a grand temple filled with a sacred aura, observing the constantly flowing information on the regional channel, his face somber. Plant type, is it? Someday, I will uproot you completely. With a cold snort, the young man turned and left the temple. In his hand, he held a completely round, transparent orb. It was one of the 3 items from the previous treasure chest, a treasure pearl that could be exchanged for resources. On the other side, in Lin Yu's territory, after dealing with various trivial matters, Lin Yu no longer went out to explore or hunt, but instead focused on construction within his territory with the plants, building a wooden house to serve as a resting place in the future. Working until it was completely dark, the wooden house was finally completed, built under the tree of life. Then Lin Yu took out dried beast meat, started a fire to roast it, enjoying the rare evening. He had been in this world for 2 days now. Saying he wasn't lonely would be a lie. A hint of unease lingered in his heart. Thankfully, he had these sentient plants as company, otherwise he might have gone crazy staying long. The plants seemed to sense his mood, slowly approaching to encircle him. Lingxi and the 2 flower spirits flew above him, playing and laughing, adding much vitality to the territory. In contrast, the tree spirit berserker was much more steady, dutifully patrolling the territory's edge, alert to the slightest sound of disturbance. All right, everyone go rest now, there's plenty of work to do tomorrow. Lin Yu smiled slightly, speaking to the plants. He knew the plants could understand him. After eating the grilled meat, and drinking some dew collected from the leaves earlier in the morning, he too went back into the wooden house, lying down to rest. Chapter 10. The impending crisis. Next morning, Lin Yu got up as soon as the sky brightened. After a simple meal and a quick check around the territory, he set out with 6 Tier 3 plants. Today he didn't head to the plains but targeted the forest at the edge of his territory instead. Previously, he didn't dare enter due to his weak strength. Now, having advanced to Tier 3 and possessing so many Tier 3 species, he no longer needed to fear encountering a Tier 3 demon. It was time to explore and see. Perhaps there might be some unexpected discovery. Thus, with 1 person and 6 plants, they marched grandly into the forest at the edge. Inside the forest, it was very dark, with almost all light blocked by the dense leaves, only threads of sunlight illuminating the surroundings. From afar, the roars and howls of beasts occasionally echoed, which sounded a bit eerie. Not long after, Lin Yu encountered his first demon, a lizard the size of a crocodile. Name: Swift Shadow Lizard. Race: Wild Beast. Level: Tier 3. Power: 33. Constitution: 28. Agility: 44. Spirit: 32. Skills: Shadow Transformation. Transform into a shadow, merging into the darkness, almost imperceptible to the naked eye. Introduction: a demon that likes to hide in darkness, with very fast speed. Go, deal with it. Lin Yu directly gave orders to the plants beside him. At the same time, the swift shadow lizard, which was originally eating, noticed Lin Yu, let out a roar, and transformed into a shadow, fiercely attacking him from the darkness. If you didn't look closely, you couldn't really see its figure. It was indeed hard to see with the naked eye. Of course, the plants beside Lin Yu were not the kind to stand idly by. The swift shadow lizard barely rushed within 10 meters when vines began lashing out successively, blocking its path. However, what Lin Yu didn't expect was, faced with vines sweeping from all directions, the swift shadow lizard deftly dodged, like an eel, weaving through the vines, quickly closing in within 5 meters from him. The taste of fresh blood suddenly intensified the lizard's ferocity, speeding up as it opened its bloody maw to bite Lin Yu. Just then, out of nowhere, several wooden thorns burst from the ground, piercing the lizard's lower belly in an instant, halting its movement. Immediately following, countless vines rained down, piercing through its body. Killed Tier 3 Swift Shadow Lizard, gained 12 points of magic energy. Well done, Lingxi. Lin Yu looked up, glancing at Lingxi, who just retracted her magic staff. The wooden thorns that had appeared were the work of Lingxi, one form of natural magic. He hadn't expected she'd hit such a fast demon in one strike, truly worthy of possessing royal bloodline. Receiving Lin Yu's praise, Lingxi immediately became cheerful, fluttering through the air, spreading fluorescence wherever she went. Lin Yu checked, and Lingxi gained 1 experience point from killing the Tier 3 demon. Which means, to reach Tier 4, she would need to kill 50 Tier 3 demons. It seemed unlikely to achieve this in the short term. Let's go, keep moving. After instructing, the group set off again. With the tree spirit berserker leading the way and the poison vine flower and flower spirit giving support from behind, they encountered no more danger along the way. Instead, they came across many 2nd and 3rd tier demons, providing Lin Yu with dozens of points of magic energy. Since arriving in this world, Lin Yu has fully realized the importance of magic energy. So, naturally, he wasn't polite, sweeping through and trying to accumulate as much magic energy as possible, so he could recruit more species. Only this way Could he truly establish himself in this world after the 7-day safety period ends? An hour later, Lin Yu finally reached the depths of the forest. Hold on a second. Suddenly, Lin Yu's ears twitched, and he halted the team. Now, he was close to passing through the forest to the other side, where danger could appear any time. He had to be cautious. After stopping the team, he quickly moved to a gnarled ancient tree, climbed up the trunk, and through the gaps in the branches, he gazed outside. In just one glance, he was stunned by the sight before him. Just 200 meters away, a semi-transparent wall stood at the forest edge, connecting the heavens and earth. Beyond the wall, countless demons gathered, dark like a tide, spreading out for miles. The entire forest exterior was surrounded by various terrifying demons, and Lin Yu even saw some figures more terrifying than Tier 3 among them. This is... Lin Yu gaped in shock, never expecting the other side of the forest to present such a scene. It seemed these demons were being held outside by some force, unable to enter his current area. Could it be that the so-called 7-day safety period was actually to keep these monsters at bay? Lin Yu was stunned. If that were the case, then his current situation was perilous. Once the safety period was over, these tidal demons would surely surge in, sweeping through the forest and attacking all territories in this area. And his territory, being so close, would certainly bear the brunt, becoming the first target of the demons. So that's why he often heard beastly roars from within his territory. This was the reason. If he hadn't coincidentally come here, he might have remained ignorant, not knowing how he died when the time came. No way, he absolutely couldn't sit back and wait for death. Before the safety period ended, he must quickly strengthen his territory. Lin Yu could no longer care about much else, hurriedly jumping down from the trunk, rushing back with the team of plants, his face filled with urgency. Initially, he thought this world was friendly, allowing newcomers like them to easily grow and slowly adapt to this world's environment. Yet, he didn't expect that the place they were in was just a temporarily protected greenhouse. Reflecting on the terrifying scene he just witnessed, Lin Yu quickened his pace, weaving through the dense forest. Soon, he returned to his territory. After the initial panic, he gradually calmed down, scanning his territory and beginning to consider plans to defend against the beast tide. Firstly, his location was at the foot of a mountain, with the mountains at his back, so only 3 sides would be under attack, which was very favorable for defense. Moreover, this forest stretched for thousands of miles, being incredibly narrow and long, making it impossible for all the demons to attack this corner. Once dispersed, he could break them one by one. As long as he had enough species, defending the 3 sides wasn't out of the question. This place was dangerous, indeed. But danger often came with opportunity. As long as he could withstand the demon's assault, the resources he'd gain would undoubtedly be substantial, potentially even staggering. By then, sustaining wall through wall might just be possible. As long as he held out long enough, he could continue to grow stronger, recruit more species, and weather this beast tide. 5 days left. Lin Yu frowned slightly, his eyes filled with gravity. This was probably the first time he genuinely felt the terror of this world. Waste no more time, using the over 100 points of magic energy gained today to recruit more species, he began preparing for the upcoming battle. Chapter 11. Flaming Lion's Lair. In less than half an hour, the number of Tier 3 species in Lin Yu's territory doubled from 6 to 12. Among them, there were 5 poison vine flowers, 3 tree spirit berserkers, and 4 flower spirits, and more than half had long-range spell attack abilities. Of course, when it comes to long-range attacks, the flower spirits with higher natural affinity are stronger, while poison vine flowers and tree spirit berserkers focus more on physical attacks. There are only 5 days left until the end of the safety period. Lin Yu can't just sit and wait, he must prepare in advance for any eventuality. He opened the regional chat channel and watched for a while, finding that no one else noticed the demon encirclement. They were still chatting and exchanging information as usual. Lin Yu thought for a moment and directly sent out a message. A large number of demons have appeared on the other side of the forest, at least tens of thousands, many of them Tier 3 and above. You'd better be prepared. The reason he reminded them was not out of kindness but to leverage their strength to alleviate some pressure. Otherwise, if other territories are breached, demons from other directions might flood his side, and it would be difficult to handle on his own. So it's better to give an early warning. Sure enough, as soon as his message was sent, someone immediately responded. Tens of thousands of demons on the other side of the forest. Is it true? Impossible, right? With such a large number of demons, how could there be no movement? You're just bluffing. Tens of thousands is already over the top, and many a tier 3. Do you think we're illiterate? I'm near the forest now and haven't seen that many demons. Ha ha, you've been caught lying. The forest is so dangerous, who's been to the other side? Right, it's obviously fake. The chat channel was filled with doubts, disbelief, and even some ridicule, while others adopted a wait-and-see attitude. To this, Lin Yu could only helplessly shake his head, having expected this outcome. After all, he had no evidence to prove the existence of the beast tide. No matter how much he explained, no one would believe. Anyway, the warning was issued, and the warning effect achieved. Now, he just needed things to slowly ferment. Moreover, such a big event would eventually be discovered. By then, even if he didn't say anything, it would spread quickly and attract countless people's attention. Without further concern, he closed the channel and took his plant legion out grandly. More than 20 minutes later, Lin Yu arrived in the forest again. This time, luck was on his side. He found a huge cave less than 2 kilometers into the forest, with 2 flaming lions lying at the entrance, steaming hot and fast asleep. Recalling the flaming lions he encountered before, Lin Yu felt enlightened. This must be the flaming lion's lair. He didn't expect it to be so close to his territory, and it seems it must be eradicated as soon as possible to prevent endless troubles. Lingxi, take the other flower spirits and fly above, ready to support anytime. The rest, come with me to attack. Lin Yu quietly instructed the plant legion beside him. Through the soul link, all plants immediately understood his meaning and began preparing according to his plan. Unbeknownst to Lin Yu, while he was carrying out his plan to eliminate the flaming lions, the regional chat channel suddenly exploded. Crap, brothers, there really are demons on the other side of the forest. So many demons, all blocked outside a transparent wall. I saw it too. The number is terrifying, at least tens of thousands, maybe more. That big brother didn't lie to us. The news of a large number of demons on the other side of the forest swept through the entire region like a hurricane. More and more people crossed the forest to reach that transparent wall, and verified the authenticity of the news. Those who didn't originally believe were suddenly shocked and panicked by the news. The entire chat channel plunged into chaos. How can it be? Tens of thousands of demons. That's too terrifying. I heard they'll rush in after the safety period ends. Is that true? I'm doomed. I'm only 2 or 3 kilometers from the forest. When the time comes, won't I be in trouble? Same here. I've just managed to rise to tier 2, and I don't want to die yet. Turns out everything that person said was true. Going through the forest so early, he must be an expert. Does anyone know who he is? I need his contact. You see, you were cursing so much just now, so why aren't you cursing now? Also asking for the expert's contact. With the sudden crisis, everyone panicked. Tens of thousands, maybe even over 100,000 demons are no joke. If they all come rushing in, very few will be spared. The only way out is to quickly enhance one's power during the remaining time, to have a chance of surviving the upcoming beast tide. In an instant, countless people joined the competition for resources, frantically slaughtering each other, and the entire region echoed with the sounds of battle, no longer peaceful and serene. In contrast, Lin Yu was much luckier. Due to his remote location, he wasn't entangled in the resource struggle and could focus on hunting. At this moment, outside the flaming lion's cave, bang, another flaming lion fell heavily, and Lin Yu finally successfully dealt with the 2 guard flaming lions. With his plant legion, Lin Yu stepped over the flaming lion corpses, carefully walking into the spacious cave. It was very hot inside. A wave of heat hit him as soon as he entered not far, and the air was filled with a faint sulfur smell. Soon, Lin Yu came to a corner. Peeking through a crack in the corner, he immediately saw a pool of bubbling lava and a group of flaming lions sleeping beside it. It turned out to be using an underground volcano as a lair. Lin Yu hesitated a bit, as the fire element was the nemesis of the plant type. Fighting in the volcano area was obviously at a disadvantage for them. Moreover, there were quite a few flaming lions inside, at least 16 or 17, occupying a numerical advantage. What's that? Suddenly, Lin Yu's gaze was drawn to a fiery red lotus in the middle of the lava pool. The lotus wasn't big but grew right in the lava, unfazed by the burning, which caught his eye immediately. Treasure. This must be a treasure. It was the first time Lin Yu had seen a plant growing in lava, and he didn't need to think to know it wasn't simple. Originally thinking to retreat, his thoughts immediately became active again. After a moment's pondering and another glance at the surroundings, he made up his mind, leading the plants quickly out of the cave, dragging the 2 flaming lion corpses to the cave entrance, then patiently waiting outside. As expected, not long after, 3 flaming lions smelled the blood and got up, leaving the cave. As they reached outside and saw the corpses of their companions on the ground, Lin Yu, hiding at the side, immediately shouted lowly, "Go, take care of them." Not giving the flaming lions a chance to call for their companions, vines shot through the ground, binding their limbs and mouths, releasing a paralyzing toxin. At the same time, Lingxi and the other 3 flower spirits waved their magic staffs, countless wooden thorns emerged, piercing through their bodies, their struggle coming to an abrupt halt, falling limp to the ground. In less than 10 seconds, the battle was over. Chapter 12, Demon Gathering Grounds. Using a method of luring with his aura, Lin Yu quickly resolved the 16 flaming lions in the nest. Except for the last wave where an unexpected situation occurred that brought out all the remaining flaming lions at once, the process was fairly smooth. After dealing with the bodies, Lin Yu led the plant legion into the nest, arriving at the edge of the magma pool. Just as he stood there, a wave of scorching heat hit him in the face, forcing him to squint instinctively. Even the plants beside him gradually retreated. Yet, in such a harsh environment, that lotus flower still stood proudly, swaying left and right with the surging magma. It was truly a rare gem of the world. Whoosh! The sound of something breaking through the air resounded, and at Lin Yu's signal, a vine suddenly lashed out, streaking towards the magma pool. But in the next second, that vine was scorched into charcoal by the rolling heatwave, breaking into 2 and falling into the pool, while the remaining part recoiled in shock and only barely recovered with the flower spirit's healing. Can't do it. Lin Yu frowned slightly, lost in thought. After a while, he seemed to think of something and suddenly looked at another poison vine flower with a glossy green surface nearby. You try it, and Lingxi, you are in charge of healing. This poison vine flower was the first one Lin Yu summoned and inherited the healing skills of the young tree. Now it had grown to Tier 3, its self-healing ability greatly enhanced. Coupled with the flower spirit's healing, it might just withstand the magma's burning. Whoosh! Another sound of something breaking through the air, as a glossy green vine lashed out, whipping straight towards the lotus flower in the magma pool. At the same time, the healing radiance of the flower spirits fell, enveloping the vine and working hard to heal the burns, while the poison vine flower itself activated its self-healing ability, constantly repairing the withered vine. With the 2-pronged support, it actually managed to resist the scorching heat. Succeeded. Lin Yu's face broke into a smile of delight as he heard a crack sound. The lotus flower snapped off, was carried away from the magma pool, and eventually landed on the shore. Lin Yu hurriedly stepped forward and carefully picked it up. Besides feeling a little warm, there was no other oddity, and the attributes of the lotus flower immediately caught his eye. Name: Bathing Fire Lotus. Effect: plant within the territory, generates magic energy once per hour, amount related to the territory level. Introduction: a lotus containing magic energy that can grow in any environment. Good stuff. Lin Yu couldn't help exclaiming. It was worth all the effort to eradicate the flaming lion's nest and spending so much time. It's all worth it now. Gaining magic energy every hour means, even if he doesn't go out hunting and just stays in the territory, magic energy will keep increasing. He wonders how much it will increase each time, which made him a little excited. With no intention to continue exploring, he dealt with the flaming lions' bodies outside the cave entrance and hurried back to the territory with the plant legion. Once in the territory, Lin Yu took out the bathing fire lotus and planted it in an open space next to the tree of life. At the same time, a voice sounded in his ear. Bathing fire lotus planted successfully, level changed, current level, tier 3. Building name, bathing fire lotus. Building level, tier 3. Resource gathering, 15 magic energy per hour. Introduction, a lotus containing magic energy that can grow in any environment, level increases with territory upgrade. 15 magic energy. Lin Yu's heart was filled with joy, not expecting the effect of the bathing fire lotus to be so powerful, more than the magic energy gained from killing a tier 3 demon. While astonished, he felt extremely excited, because with this, his chances of defending against the beast tide would increase greatly, and he might even reach tier 4 before the safe period ends. If he can really reach tier 4, Lin Yu's gaze focused slightly, looking towards the beast tide direction, filled with contemplation. He then opened the territory information to take a glance. Territory name, Tree of Life. Territory level, tier 3. Territory durability, 500 and 500ths. Recruitment species, plant type. Recruitment number, 12/30ths. Territory introduction, the Lord's fundamental for survival, possessing various functions. If the territory core is destroyed, the Lord will perish. Upgrade requirements, wood 500 and 500ths, stone 37 500ths, magic energy 198 250ths, tier 3 territory essence 0/1. Note, plant type territory trait, self-providing wood. Upgrading to tier 4 territory clearly required a lot more materials. A whole 500 units of stone, even mobilizing all plants continuously to transport, would take at least nearly 2 days. Not to mention there's an unknown territory essence, although only one is needed, it's clearly not easy to obtain. Seems like I'll just have to gather enough stone first. Closing the information interface, Lin Yu began recruiting more species with the newly acquired magic energy. With the bathing fire lotus in place, he wasn't too worried about magic energy, immediately maxing out recruitment, and recruited a full 18 tier 3 poison vine flowers, then sent them to the mountain behind to transport stone. Not to say, these poison vine flowers, although clumsy in movement, had many vine tendrils, forming a queue, efficiently and easily transporting stones. Lin Yu spent nearly the entire day arranging stone transportation. By evening, he finally gathered half of the stones required for upgrading. Dragging his tired body, he returned to the territory under the escort of many plants, finally ending a busy day. In the blink of an eye, a night passed. The morning sun rose as usual. As the first rays of sunlight illuminated the earth, lords everywhere in the world woke up for a new day of survival, seemingly used to this life. Except, today was somewhat different from before. At the moment the day broke, a cold voice suddenly sounded in everyone's mind. Congratulations to all lords for surviving 3 days on the primordial continent. Restrictions on all major demon gathering places are lifted. Clearing gathering places will grant rare item rewards and materials required for territory upgrade to tier 4, territory essence. Please work hard to upgrade your territory level. Silence. The entire regional channel fell into a silent pause. Everyone was rooted to their spots by this sudden announcement. After a moment, the regional channel suddenly boiled over. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. Did I hear that right? Rare item rewards. Materials for upgrading to tier 4. My mom, getting a treasure chest last time was already incredible. What's going on this time? Can anyone tell me, what's a demon gathering place? Is it dangerous? Who cares what it is? I'm definitely going to this gathering place. Whoever competes with me'll fight them. Damn it, I missed the treasure chest last time. I must get it this time. Just reached tier 3, was wondering what this territory essence is, didn't expect it to be this. Not just these people getting excited, even Lin Yu, usually calm, couldn't help but get excited. He had gathered all other materials, only missing this territory essence. Once obtained, he could advance to tier 4 ahead of others, which would be a huge advantage, especially in standing firm during the upcoming beast tide. Others naturally understood this as well. So, for a while, everyone was inquiring about the demon gathering places, making the regional channel lively and bustling. Chapter 13, Magic System Plant Legion. The news of the demon gathering site has returned much faster than expected. In less than an hour, a Tier 3 beast-type lord brought the news back and posted it on the regional channel. The result was beyond everyone's expectations. He failed. Not only did he fail, but he failed completely. Almost all his troops were killed, and he barely escaped himself. The reason is simple: there is a Tier 4 demon inside the gathering site. Once this news spread, it immediately caused an uproar. My God, there's a Tier 4 demon in the gathering site. This is too terrifying. I haven't even reached Tier 3 yet. So that Tier 3 powerhouse has been wiped out and came back. That seems to be the case. Luckily I didn't go, otherwise, I wouldn't even know how I died. Damn, I thought it was a reward for surviving 3 days, but it turned out to be a trap. There really won't be such good things in the world. I better honestly go kill low-tier demons. Lin Yu, who was in his territory, also saw this news, and his brows furrowed. Tier 4 demon is not just simply one tier above Tier 3, it also represents a leap from low-level creatures to mid-level creatures. To put it simply, creatures that surpass Tier 3 will undergo a qualitative change, advancing from low-level life to mid-level life, simultaneously acquiring a new skill. The improvement in strength is not as simple as 1 + 1. All this information comes from the regional channel that he collected over the past few days. To deal with a Tier 4 demon, ordinary Tier 3 troops are obviously very difficult to handle, and there is even a risk of total annihilation. However, if they do not confront the Tier 4 demon, they would face an even more terrifying beast tide, and at that time, the Tier 4 demons would not be just 1 or 2. Indeed, after the discussion, a person named Murongtian quickly stood out. Everyone, I am Murongtian. I am now recruiting partners who are Tier 3 or above to attack the demon gathering site and resist the beast tide. Please contact me if interested. Murongtian. Could it be the Tier 3 angel-type powerhouse? Seeing Murongtian's message, everyone in the channel was shocked. In their region, Murongtian is the only known angel-type figure, and he is also a renowned Tier 3 expert. This was no secret anymore. It is known that the angel type is recognized as one of the strongest troop types. Even such a powerhouse cannot handle a Tier 4 demon alone. He specially came to the channel to gather teammates. It shows how terrifying Tier 4 demon is. So it really is Lord Murong. I didn't expect him to appear. Lord Murong, can you take me with you? I should be able to advance to Tier 3 by tomorrow. Lord, please take me. I am also close to Tier 3. Count me in. I just upgraded this morning. I'm Tier 2, but I have a Tier 3 centaur. Lord Murong, do you think it's okay? The appearance of Murongtian made the regional channel lively and noisy. Everyone wanted to join this squad to bask in the glory of the angel-type troops. This way, their safety in clearing out the demon gathering site would be much higher. Lin Yu silently watched all this, slightly surprised in his heart. This Murongtian should be the young man he met on the plains before. If this guy is involved, there might be a real chance to exterminate the Tier 4 demon. After all, the strength of the angel type is not to be underestimated. It might even become a major rival for him in the future. Moreover, the other party is also very clever, knowing how to unite and grow stronger. Looks like I have to get serious too. Lin Yu whispered softly. Unlike these people, he didn't have the intention of acting together with others. Not to mention whether he could trust the other parties or not, he simply did not want to expose the location of his territory too early, to prevent being backstabbed later. In this world where everyone walks in fear, being cautious is never wrong. Furthermore, with his current strength, he is not incapable of dealing with Tier 4 demons, it just requires some preparation. With this in mind, Lin Yu went to the bathing fire lotus cultivated yesterday. Over the past 2 days of accumulation, the bathing fire lotus has produced more than 500 magic energy points, fully sufficient for him to create a magic legion. So, the entire morning, Lin Yu stayed in his territory and focused on crafting a magic legion. It was only past noon when he finished, surrounded by a group of troops proficient in natural attack techniques. Among them were 12 poison vine flowers, 9 tree spirit berserkers, 6 flower spirits, and 3 new troops that unexpectedly mutated. Name: Explosive Mushroom. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 3, 0/50. Power: 5. Constitution: 22. Agility: 30. Spirit: 44. Skills: Nature Control, Self-Destruction Mushroom. Introduction: The advanced form of explosive mushroom can quickly generate mushrooms and throw them at the enemy, causing a powerful explosion. Because the mutated embryos all used plant spirits, they inherited the nature control skill. What surprised Lin Yu the most was that after the advancement of self-destruction mushroom, it actually gained mobility, sprouting limbs from below. Even more absurd, the explosive spores skill evolved into self-destruction mushrooms, which could be picked and thrown at enemies. Isn't this the legendary throwing grenade? When Lin Yu first saw this troop, he was shocked to the core. And to be honest, these bouncing little mushrooms may look cute, but they are fierce in action, throwing one grenade after another like they cost nothing, almost blowing his territory into oblivion. The addition of this new troop greatly increased his confidence in battling the Tier 4 demon. Scanning his territory filled with the mighty plant legion, Lin Yu nodded with satisfaction and then waved his hand. "Let's move out." As his words fell, he led a multitude of plants forward, heading directly into the nearby mountains. After paying attention the entire morning, Lin Yu had a basic understanding of the demon gathering site. The so-called gathering site is an area with a large concentration of demons. Due to the overwhelming presence of demons, the ecology is disrupted, harming all sides, and powerful individuals like tribe leaders are prone to appear. Following this clue, Lin Yu moved forward and indeed quickly found a sinister glen. Inside the glen were numerous walking dead skeletons, with the dense miasma swirling above the glen as if warning people that this was indeed a demon gathering site. And the attributes of those demons appeared in Lin Yu's vision. Name: Walking Dead. Race: Undead. Level: Tier 3. Power: 31. Constitution: 39. Agility: 22. Spirit: 34. Skills: Rotting Pus Saw. Introduction: A corpse transformed by an infectious plague, covered with rotting poison. Name: Skeleton Axe Warrior. Race: Undead. Level: Tier 3. Power: 40. Constitution: 25. Agility: 36. Spirit: 28. Skills: Heavy Slash. Introduction: A type of low-level undead, holding an axe with great power. Just as he expected, all these walking dead and skeletons were Tier 3 demons, posing little threat to him. Understanding the surrounding terrain, Lin Yu led the plants with caution to approach. Chapter 14, Tier 4, Rotting Corpse Kingth Mountain Pass Entrance. Under the grey fog, a skeleton axe warrior dragged a heavy axe, wandering aimlessly among the corpses. The surroundings were eerily silent, with only the sound of the axe scraping the ground and the chewing of the walking dead, while a chilling wind howled by. Suddenly, a vine appeared out of thin air, surfacing at the skeleton's feet. Before the skeleton could react, its feet were bound, and with a bang, it fell to the ground, then was swiftly dragged out of the pass, followed by the sound of bones shattering. Well done. In the mist, Lin Yu softly praised the poison vine flower beside him. The Tier 3 poison vine flower had vines that could extend over 20 meters, making them difficult to detect in the fog. Using this ambush tactic, he had already killed a dozen skeleton walking dead, nearly clearing out most of the demons near the entrance, leaving only about 20 more inside. After confirming no demons were near the entrance, Lin Yu led the plant legion further inside, heading toward the gathering area. And the walking dead skeletons within the gathering area also noticed them, roaring and charging toward them. Go, leave none alive. With a numerical advantage, Lin Yu no longer needed to hold back and directly issued an attack command to the plants. In an instant, countless green lights appeared, as wooden thorns materialized and pierced through the bodies of the skeletons at the forefront. The poison vine flowers and tree spirit berserkers didn't idle either, wildly whipping vines and swinging heavy swords, fearlessly meeting the charging skeleton walking dead. Yet the most ferocious were those 3 explosive mushrooms. They hopped around, plucking the newly grown red mushrooms from their bodies, and tossed them gleefully. Boom, 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 the entire air shook with the blasts. A series of violent explosions sent the leading skeleton Walking Dead flying, some even being directly blown to bits on the spot. Killed Tier 3 Skeleton Axe Warrior, gained 11 points of magic energy. Killed Tier 3 Skeleton Axe Warrior, gained 9 points of magic energy. Killed Tier 3 Walking Dead, gained 12 points of magic energy. ... In just the blink of an eye, Lin Yu had gained 50 to 60 points of magic energy. The situation on the field was almost completely one-sided, with Skeleton Walking Dead continuously falling under the attack of the plants, turning into wisps of black aura drifting toward the depths of the gathering area. Something's not right. Suddenly, Lin Yu sensed something off, his brows slightly furrowing. These Tier 3 demons seemed a bit too weak, as if they had come specifically to die, especially the black aura they turned into after dying, as if drawn by something, all heading in the same direction. Could it be a Tier 4 demon? Lin Yu's heart trembled with shock. However, before he could ponder further, the ground at the deepest part of the gathering area suddenly cracked open with a crack, and a gust of eerie wind swept through the entire pass, forcing him and the plants to retreat. Immediately after, a massive arm abruptly thrust out from underground. Then the head, followed by the body. In just a few breaths, a gigantic Walking Dead over 3 meters tall emerged before him, its presence exuding a terrifying evil chi. Name: Rotting Corpse King. Race: Undead. Level: Tier 4. Power: 85. Constitution: 96. Agility: 70. Spirit: 82. Skills: Rotting Corpse Poison, Deathbite. Introduction: the king among Walking Dead, decaying everything in its wake, extinguishing all life. Tier 4 Corpse King. Lin Yu was shocked to his core, his eyes widening involuntarily. The average attributes exceeding 80 points were 3 times stronger than the Tier 3 demons. He finally understood why those people had been annihilated. Just facing such insane attributes would undoubtedly be lethal to any ordinary Tier 3 on sight. Roar. While Lin Yu was momentarily stunned, the Rotting Corpse King also discovered his presence, roaring and leaping high, landing above his head. Not good. Scatter. Lin Yu was shocked, diving and rolling to evade. Amid a thunderous boom, the ground trembled violently, instantly crushing 2 poison vine flowers that couldn't escape in time, killing them on the spot. So strong. Lin Yu's pupils shrank to their limit. He had anticipated the Tier 4 demon would be powerful, but not to such an extent. With just a single strike, it had instantly killed 2 of his Tier 3 species, not even allowing him a chance to heal. No time to think, he quickly issued commands to the remaining plants: scatter. Attack with full force. While speaking, he swiftly rose, drawing a knife made from beast bone from his waist, holding it defensively in front of him. Simultaneously, the plants coordinated with his actions, lashing out vines to bind the Corpse King, while countless wooden thorns erupted from the ground, piercing its ankles. Roar. The Corpse King roared in fury, tearing the vines apart with a strong pull, unaffected by the vine's potent poison. Even the wooden thorns piercing its ankles were ignored, pulled out entirely. However, this struggle provided an opportunity for the other plants. The nearby tree spirit berserkers furiously swung their heavy swords, hacking away at the Corpse King, slicing off pieces of decayed flesh. Then the vines reappeared, entangling its legs, and extending over its body. Besieged from all sides, the Corpse King went berserk, turning its head to bite the neck of a tree spirit berserker, ripping it off and simultaneously spewing rotting corpse poison at 2 others, enveloping them. In an instant, the bodies of those 2 tree spirit berserkers rapidly decayed, collapsing into piles of rotten wood. Lin Yu felt a pang of sorrow. These were all cultivated with significant magic energy, and now they were gone just like that. Thankfully, the Corpse King wasn't lightly injured. Under the 10% attribute boost of Lingxi's affinity aura, the Plant Legion gradually gained the upper hand, launching a counterattack. Facing such overwhelming numbers, the Corpse King was left howling angrily. After killing another tree spirit berserker and 2 poison vine flowers, its strength was finally exhausted, as vines and wooden thorns pierced through its head and chest, succumbing to the plant's collective assault. Killed Tier 4 Rotting Corpse King, gained 25 points of magic energy. No time to celebrate as a notification sounded in Lin Yu's mind, instantly darkening his expression. All that effort to kill a tier 4 demon, and only this much magic energy. Considering he lost 8 subordinates to kill the rotting corpse king, each one worth 20 magic energy, that equated to a loss of 160 magic energy. What a huge loss. Fortunately, another voice followed. Congratulations, you have successfully eradicated the Tier 3 demon gathering area. Reward, Tier 3 Territory Essence X1. Territory Essence. Lin Yu's spirit was revitalized, immediately looking toward the corpse king's corpse. On its body, black auras swiftly converged, gradually forming a crystalline crystal floating quietly in the air. And the crystal's information entered Lin Yu's eyes. Name, Territory Essence. Level, Tier 3. Introduction, the primary material for upgrading territory levels, condensed from the immense energy within the demon gathering area, a vital material for upgrading Tier 3 territory. Indeed, just as the notification had said, upon eradicating the demon gathering area, he acquired the final material for upgrading the territory essence. Lin Yu was immensely thrilled, carefully taking the crystal. With this item, he could finally upgrade his territory to Tier 4, making all his efforts worthwhile in covering such a distance. And as he received the territory essence, the voice in his mind resonated once more. Chapter 15, Territory Upgrade, Cannibal Flower King. Congratulations, you have successfully eradicated the Tier 3 demon gathering spot, Undead Remains. Received Tier 3 Species Token, Walking Dead. Species Token, Walking Dead. Effect, unlock a Tier 3 Ordinary Species. Usage requirements, Tier 3 Undead Type Territory, 25 points of magic energy. Undead Type. Lin Yu was somewhat surprised. After clearing the demon gathering spot, he unexpectedly obtained a corresponding type of species token, which was a bit beyond his expectations. Had he known this, he would have gone to find a plant-type demon gathering spot, wasting the opportunity to acquire a new species for nothing. Moreover, there is no so-called trading system in this world. To exchange it for something else, he must find another way. However, this doesn't trouble him much, it's just a little troublesome at most. After putting away the token, Lin Yu continued to examine the body of the rotting corpse king. At this moment, there was a commotion behind him. Ling Shi and 2 other poison vine flowers were suddenly enveloped in a burst of light. Have they advanced? Lin Yu stood up in surprise. Unexpectedly, after killing the rotting corpse king, their experience directly reached the full value, advancing to Tier 4 species. It seems leader demons have an extra experience bonus. Enveloped in a dazzling light, a wreath gradually formed around the palm-sized Lingxi, with 2 butterfly-like little creatures flying around it, full of lively spirit. The 2 poison vine flowers were even more exaggerated. The originally half-human height bodies quickly grew taller, reaching over a person's height, with a beautiful and demonic flower blooming at the top, and the lower body becoming slender and graceful, their vines constantly waving like octopus tentacles. Name, Wood Spirit Lingxi, Royal Family. Race, Plant. Level, Tier 4, 0/100. Power, 75. Constitution, 70. Agility, 82. Spirit, 100. Skills, Nature Control, Affinity Aura, Grass and Thorns. Control the power of plants, grow thorns on the enemy to restrict their movement. Introduction, the advanced form of Flower Spirit, for some reason, initially awakened the royal bloodline, possessing the ability to command other plant-type species. Name, Highly Poisonous Demoness. Race, Plant. Level, Tier 4, 0/100. Power, 77. Constitution, 88. Agility, 73. Spirit, 76. Skills, Breath of Nature, Highly Poisonous Vine Whip, Poison Mist releases toxins from the flower on its head, enveloping the enemy, with a strong paralytic and lethal effect. Introduction, the advanced form of Poison Vine Flower, with greatly improved attack range and toxicity. The Tier 4 Lingxi and Highly Poisonous Demoness had their attributes greatly enhanced, and they finally grasped new skills. With such power, they are not weak at all compared to the rotting corpse king they killed. Especially the Highly Poisonous Demoness, whose vine attack range directly increased to over 30 meters, covering a large area. Lin Yu remembered. These two highly poisonous demonesses were the ones he initially mutated. One inherited the healing skills of the small sapling, and the other inherited the self-destructive spores of the explosive mushroom. Now that he thinks about it, they have been present in every battle. No wonder their experience has outpaced other plants and they advanced to Tier 4 first. As for Lingxi, its quick advancement might be due to the affinity aura, which sped up its experience gain. Moreover, the new skill it acquired upon leveling up is quite impressive, growing thorns on enemies for a surprise effect. This expedition has been quite fruitful, making Lin Yu feel delighted. After making sure there was nothing left in the gathering spot, he waved grandly and left the mountain valley with his plant legion. Soon, they crossed the mountains and returned to the territory, starting to arrange for the plants to gather stone. Not until the afternoon did they finally collect all the remaining stone. Then Lin Yu hurriedly went under the Tree of Life and took out the newly obtained territory core. At the same time, a prompt sounded. Territory upgrade materials have been gathered. Do you wish to upgrade? Upgrade. Lin Yu took a deep breath, his expression becoming expectant. Originally, after creating the plant legion, he didn't have enough magic energy, but this time, after eliminating many Tier 3 demons, he obtained over 400 points of magic energy, more than enough for the upgrade. As soon as his voice fell, the entire territory began to expand with a rumbling sound, and the territory core Tree of Life suddenly grew, breaking through to 40 meters in height, becoming a towering tree that sheltered the four directions. Immediately, Lin Yu's whole body shuddered, feeling a strong power surge through him, flowing throughout his body. Finally Tier 4. Lin Yu clenched his fists, his excitement was evident. Simultaneously, a voice echoed in his mind. Congratulations, your territory has been successfully upgraded to the current level, Tier 4. Randomly assigning species. Assignment successful, unlocked Tier 4 species, Cannibal Flower King. As always, each territory upgrade unlocks a new species. This time, upon reaching Tier 4, Lin Yu was pleasantly surprised to receive a new type of plant. He immediately opted to recruit a Cannibal Flower King. Recruiting a Tier 4 species requires 25 points of magic energy. Do you want to proceed with the recruitment? Yes. The cost for a Tier 4 species was more than double that of a Tier 3, and although Lin Yu felt a bit reluctant, he didn't hesitate to choose to recruit. Then, with a rustling sound, a gigantic cannibal flower rose from the ground, growing to over 6 meters tall, even towering over the territory's fence. Its information appeared in Lin Yu's view. Name: Cannibal Flower King. Race: Plant. Level: Tier 4, 0/100. Power: 89. Constitution: 90. Agility: 5. Spirit: 73. Skills: Devouring, can quickly heal by devouring corpses. Wooden Thorn, shoots powerful wooden thorns from its mouth to attack distant enemies. Introduction: King of Flowers, with extremely strong survival ability. As long as it's not a fatal injury, it can quickly recover by devouring corpses. The species obtained from upgrading the territory are generally ordinary. However, the timely appearance of this Cannibal Flower King was perfect, as the beast tide was coming, and what Lin Yu needed most was strong survival species for sustained battles. Though healing skills are good, they're limited. Unlike the devouring skill, as long as there are corpses, non-fatal wounds can be instantly healed, which is simply overbearing. And what the beast tide doesn't lack is corpses. Lin Yu pondered for a moment, then went ahead and recruited 5 more Cannibal Flower Kings, positioning them at the 3 sides of the fence. After doing all that, his magic energy was down to just over 250 points. Considering the magic energy needed for mutation, he could only create 5 more Tier 4 species, returning to the starting point once again. But there's no choice. No matter how strong Tier 3 is, it still can't match Tier 4. Plus, he just upgraded and can't ascend to Tier 5 for a while, so there's no need to keep species gathering stone with the beast tide approaching. Naturally, enhancing his strength as much as possible is a priority. Therefore, aside from Lingxi and the 2 Tier 4 highly poisonous demonesses, he kept only 5 flower spirits with healing skills and natural attack magic for nurturing, converting the others back into magic energy. In this way, he gained several dozen more points of magic energy, allowing him to recruit 1 more Tier 4 species. With that resolve, He proceeded to recruit a cannibal flower king and applied mutation. Conducting mutation on a Tier 4 summoned unit requires consuming 25 points of magic energy. Do you wish to continue? Continue. In a flash, the cannibal flower king quickly transformed into a lush and robust tree spirit.